Hello everyone. I'm here to show you a little brief presentation on something that I am passionate about and something that I enjoy doing. It's called raiding. Anybody who's familiar with MMOs is probably familiar with the term raiding. It's where a bunch of people get together and they go and kill particularly hard bosses with interesting mechanics and things like that. So it's a lot of fun to do, and I enjoy doing it very well. Its origins can come from all different things. You know, you think back, one of the more notable things that maybe spurred raiding is the Vikings, you know, going out and pillaging villages and taking loot and things like that. So yeah, the concept itself is not foreign to game developers and things like that, but it's a way of banding together and conquering these difficult tasks. I was first introduced into raiding in Final Fantasy XI. You would have to group together to kill content and level and things like that, and it was a lot of fun. I currently play World of Warcraft. Another one that I've ventured into is Rift, both of which are kind of the two leaders right now when you can think about raid content. In World of Warcraft, I am currently a 10-man raid leader for my guild, Scars of Catastrophe. So each week there's 10 of us that get together and go out and try and kill the bosses in the current raiding content that's out. Rift, on the other hand, is one that has been gaining popularity. There's quite a few things that I personally enjoy about the raiding in Rift and things like that, and I'll mention them a little bit later. But Rift is definitely another one to check out if you're interested in raiding or just playing MMOs in general. It's a great community of people that band together and play these games. So there's a lot of problems that can come with raiding. As you can imagine, trying to get 10 people together, balancing schedules and things like that, it can be difficult. One of the nice things about WoW, and one of the things that my guild uses, is a built-in calendar feature. It allows us to schedule events, people can accept them and things like that, so that really helps us find out the people that we're going to have. Another thing in World of Warcraft, there's built-in location markers and things like that, so you can mark the game world around a boss so people know where they need to go and things like that. And each one of these bosses, I mean, they have interesting mechanics and things like that involved, so everybody really has to be aware of what's going on. And as a raid leader, it's important to be able to communicate, you know, what is going on with the boss, and so you can effectively beat it. Here's another example of a boss encounter where there's fire all over the place, things like that. We personally use Ventrilo, which is a voice over IP service that allows us to communicate with each other. It helps us communicate things quickly as they change, because, you know, things in a boss encounter can change like that, and sometimes they lead to everybody dying, which is very frustrating. So, but we pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and get back to it and try and learn from our mistakes so we can beat the boss in the future, because there's you know, taking a chunk out of your computer is not going to help anybody. So beyond that, there's a lot of systems currently in place in the various MMOs that help with raiding. I mentioned Rift earlier. One of the things that Rift does is they have these dynamic zone events where these big rifts open and enemies start pouring into the world. And if you don't band together in these large groups and kill these creatures that are coming in, they'll eventually spread and take over the whole zone. So another thing that both Rift and World of Warcraft do is they have a looking for group system. So instead of trying to, you know, get in a guild, even if you're just playing by yourself, you can go on the game, open up this looking for group system, and you'll be, you know, select your roles, and then you'll be matched in this matchmaking system with other people looking to do the same content or similar content. Another great feature of World of Warcraft is they have what's called their real ID matchmaking or real ID friend grouping. Basically, you can, as long as you're friends with somebody, regardless of the realm that their character on, I mean, it's faction limited, but they could be playing on a different realm, you can still group with them and go and kill something. Here's a quick shot of a 5-person run that I did the other day for a Halloween boss in World of Warcraft, the Headless Horseman. This boss is very easy, it's very simple, because all these people, it's not really expected to have a lot of difficult mechanics, it's just expected to be fun. You go and do it. This is an example of a very difficult boss in one of the earlier raid parts of World of Warcraft. As you can see, there's 24 people down in the bottom right hand corner. That's all the people in the group. Everybody has to be coordinated. You know, we have to know what's going on with the fight. We have to be in constant communication with what's going on. And when that happens, it leads to something like this. You know, we get a boss kill, and we get all these things that help us, and the things that are intriguing to people and why we raid. You know, everything from the gear to the gold to the prestige of being able to say, hey, we beat this particularly hard boss, and we are able to do that. So with the loot that you get, you know, obviously you're going to be improving your character, which then makes it easier to beat those bosses. So by getting these loot and killing these bosses, you're able to be better at your job. You know, whether you're a healer or a tank or a damage dealer, it just makes you better at what you do. So, you know, then it's easier to go on and kill other things. This shot in particular is one that we took after we finally killed a particularly hard boss that was taking us quite a while to deal with. We killed it and grabbed a screenshot, and actually this is posted on our guild's website as something that everybody can see, and kind of a little trophy for being able to finally kill this guy. So, and since these MMO worlds are so changing and they're constantly evolving and things like that, the gear itself is always evolving. So, you know, if you want to progress your character, you know, you keep doing these raids again and again to get the gear that you want. These are some examples of some new weapons coming out in a future content patch for World of Warcraft, as well as the gear here. This gear is an example of some of the new Paladin gear, which I personally I play a Paladin, so it's near and dear to my heart. You know, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. You know, the artists do a great job to tie the set pieces together. So that's one of the things that I find important, to go out and you know, collect all these set pieces. So then it makes my character look awesome. As you can see here, these are a couple of screenshots of my actual in-game character. One in her full rating gear set, and the other with just some random gear I threw on. And obviously the full rating set looks much better, and it's got much better stats. So, but thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about rating, and have a great day.